Good morning, student. Today in theme 10, Colonialism and Countryside, we will start our next topic, the hoe and the plow. Yes, here you see in this picture the two persons, they were plowing the fields with the help of animals. Now the Buchanan and his accounts. Francis Buchanan. This is the full name of the Buchanan. Francis Buchanan was a physician. He came to India and served in the Bengal Medical Services. He also served as a surgeon to the Governor General of India, Lord Wellesley. He organized a zoo that became the Calcutta Alipore Zoo. The name of that zoo was the Alipore Zoo. So all these points are very important for 1 mark questions. He was also in the charge of the botanical gardens for a short period. So he did all these type of the work in India. Now he undertook Buchanan and his accounts. He undertook detailed survey of the areas which were under the control of the company. He traveled the Rajmahal hills in the early 19th century. According to his description, the hills were very thick and impenetrable. It was an area that signified very dangerous, and wherever he went, people were hostile and were apprehensive of officials. So the Buchanan on that time in the 19th century moved in the different part of the India, and the Buchanan journals gives the information about the Pahadis of the Raj Mahal hills, because he did the survey of this Raj Mahal hills, and in his accounts or journals he also wrote about the Pahadis, the people those who lived in the Raj Mahal hills. So the Buchanan journals give us all the information about the Pahadis of this Raj Mahal hills. His journals was written as a diary in the places where he visited. Buchanan wrote about the landscape and most often described not just what he saw, what the landscape was like, and but how it could be transformed and made more productive by suggesting crops to be cultivated. So the Buchanans, after the survey of the Buchanans gave all this information to the East India Company, that how you have to use all this area for their own benefit. Now this is the area of the Rajmahal hills. Here in this map you see. Now we are discussing about the Pahadis. The Pahadis were the hill folks and lived around the Rajmahal hills in at the 18th century. So in the 18th centuries, these Pahadis, these people, they lived around the Rajmahal hills. Their main activities. Now the lifestyle of the Pahadis in the 19th centuries. The main activities were to collect forest produce and practice shifting cultivation. So these Pahadis, they were, because they lived in the uh, near these the forest area. Okay, so the main activities were to collect the forest produce like the timber, gum, resin, etc. And they were also did this shifting cultivation. They cleared patches of the forest by cutting bushes and burning the undergrowth, and these patches were enriched by the potash from the ash. So, in this way, they were doing the shifting cultivation. They grew variety of pulses and millets for their own consumption. Whatever they were growing in the shifting cultivation, they were grow. only for their own consumption, okay, for their own need, for their own use. So they grow only the pulses and the millets. They scratched the ground slightly with hoes and cultivated the clear land for years, and then they left it follow to get its fertility and move to the new area. So in this way, this is the system of the cultivation land, that they cut down the that trees of some one patch of the forest area. Okay, they cleared that land, and after that they cultivated that land for a 1 or 2 years. When that land becomes uncultivated, okay, and then they follow that, the left it follow that area and move to the another area and doing the same practice on the another area. So that's why this was called the shifting cultivation. Their main forest produce were mahua, a flower for food, and silk cocoons, and resin for sale, and wood for charcoal production. They were hunters, shifting cultivators, food gatherers, charcoal producers, silkworm rearers, and strongly connected to the forest. So all these were the main activities, okay, which they were doing in the forest area. Because, and all these activities were also depend on the forest. The Pahadis frequently raided the plains of the settled agriculturists. They raids, these raids were important for them at the time of scarcity. They actually we know that they were doing the different type of the work which were already that depend upon the forest. But at the time of the scarcity, they were raided on the plains area. Their raids were a way of asserting means of negotiation the political relation with the outsiders. The zamindars on the plain areas had to pay regular tribute to the hill chief of the Pahadis, because if the zamindars they were not paying the tribute or the money to the chief at the regular basis, so the zamindars they were feared that if they were not sorry, if they were not paid the tribute to the chief, then the chiefs they were raid on the jamidars or the plain area. Traders gave a small amount to the Pahadis for the permission to use the passes controlled by them. So the traders they were also paid the money. Okay, for this small tribute of the Pahadiya's chief protected the traders and ensured that their goods were not looted by anyone. Okay, so that's why the traders they were also gave the money to the chief. In the last decade of the 18th century, when the British Jodhars and the Jamidars started occupying the lands of the Pahadis, in the late 18th century, we saw that the problems were occurring, okay, and the Jotdar, the Britishers, and even the Jamidar, they were started to occupying the land of the Pahadis near this Rajmahal Hills. Now, the British policy of pacification with the Pahadis. Now, there was a conflict in between the Pahadis and the British people. So, in the 1770, the British embarked on a brutal uh, policy of the exterminations, hunting the Pahadis down and killing them. Then by the 1780s, Augustus Cleveland, the collector of the Bhagalpur, proposed a policy of pacification. Pahadia chiefs were given an annual allowance, okay, and made responsible for the proper conduct of their men. They were expected to maintain order in their localities and discipline of their own people. Many Pahadia chief on that time, they were refused the allowances. Those who accepted most often lost authority within the community. So, being in the pay of the authority within the pay of the colonial government, sorry, they came to be perceived as the subordinate employees or the of the chief. As the specification campaign continued, the Pahadis withdrew deep into the mountains, insulating themselves from hostile forces and carrying on a war with outsiders. The Paharia's chief, here we see that the pacifications, this policy of pacification was going on in between the Britishers and the chiefs. Now the Britishers, they gave the money, the annual allowances to the Pahadi chiefs, and made the responsible for the proper conduct of his people. That the people now, they were not raided on the plains or the Britishers or even on the Jotdars, because they were gave already the annual allowances to the Pahadi chiefs. So they were also assigned the responsibility of maintaining the law and order of their area. So in this way, the pacification was going on in between the uh, Britishers and as well as the Pahadia's chiefs. Okay, student, thank you.